Now it's time for fun and games. We last show have introduced the National School Scrabble Tournament as a good game for young children to develop a learning habit. And we also talked about a few Scramble games that can be used to not only help you to develop the vocabulary and the spelling skills, but also the crucial skills to win these national school Scrabble games. Now, since then, I have met some people who asked the questions, say, well, you need to give a little more detail. What do you mean by those things can help these crucial skills? We did give a little bit introduction, but I think today we're going to spend a little more time to go into details. The first game we introduced, we called it Scramble Tic-Tac-Toe. Now, Tic-Tac-Toe, it's a very simple game. The last time we introduced it's a 3x3 grid. You put zeros or cross and make a 3 in a row to win a game, which it's a very simple game, but it's fun, and a lot of kids play them. But it really doesn't give you more than just that little fun. There's not much else in the learning, okay? It's somewhat limited in strategy. But in the tic-tac-toe, Scramble Tic-Tac-Toe, we adopt the same principle using a grid. That's why we have a grid table here today that can be used as a tic-tac-toe board. Now, in playing tic-tac-toe, you only have 3x3 rows. But there's also some other games that extension actually maybe is origin of the tic-tac-toe. It's using a gold board, okay? Gold is called weiqi in Chinese. It's these beads, black and white, you put on a grid. Again, you can make a 4 in a row, 5 in a row type of game, as well as the very deep strategic game called weiqi or Go game. Now, the Scramble Tic-Tac-Toe basically is going to take that board, okay, as a means for playing vocabulary game. Now, how do you do that? Okay, I will demonstrate with a simple 3x3 tic-tac-toe first. The rule can be modified, but we'll just take one simple rule so we can start, so you understand. Let's say you, as the audience, playing with me, okay, and we're two-party game, and I'm going to deal cards. Say I'll deal 7 cards to each person. Maybe actually in this case, if you have a 3x3, which is 9 grids, 9 grids, all you need really is 9 cards, 9 cards maximum. So 5x5 actually is sufficient. Let's just deal 5 cards. Now, as far as you're concerned, you are the audience, have these cards. I put it over here. Hopefully the camera can see it, okay? That's the 5 cards you have. And I have 5 cards, which I'm not going to show you, okay? And I'm going to play this tic-tac-toe game with you. And of course, you cannot tell me how you're going to move. I'm going to have to move for you. Let's say this is the 3x3 grids here, okay? This over here. Now, if I start the game, I can place 1 alphabet on this grid. Okay, I have actually very interesting, almost have a word in my hand. So I shall do a, this is interesting. I put A in the middle of this 3x3. Now, when I put an A here, you are forced to put a letter on the periphery, right? Which will open a chance for me to make a 3-letter word. So this 3x3 tic-tac-toe is forcing you to think about the 3-letter words. Now, 3-letter words as I last time explained, has very small number actually. It's all in one sheet, okay? I didn't have this sheet with me last time. And this sheet, this printout here, it's about 960 or so three-letter words, okay? Although not everyone knows all 960 words. Maybe some person that really mastered memorizing this, but I have not met one that knows every word. Why? Because when you play Scrabble and so on, the three-letter word is very important, and turns out sometimes people don't know for sure that three-letter word is a word or not, okay? So in order to strengthen your skill in playing the Scrabble game, the three-letter word is a key. And you certainly can memorize, but believe me, memorizing it by reading a list is not the same as you play a game and memorizing it, which is easier and natural. Once you play the word before, you remember it. So that's why this tic-tac-toe game is an excellent tool for anybody, definitely for kids, to absorb and learn and memorize the three-letter word, which is only 960 some words. Okay? So if I put A here, now, as audience, you have these 5 letters. You can put anywhere on this corner. When I put corner, you will leave a third spot for me to play a word. So you have to strategically decide what letter to put in. For example, if you put, say, H, put it vertically to differentiate that this is your card. Now you give me a chance to put, say, B, D, T. Many of these will make a word. Had, so on. And that's not good, right? So you wouldn't do that. So you would have to think, well, what can you do? Perhaps you would like to do another vowel here. All right? This EA something is probably a less chance, but still EAT, eat, is a word. Okay? So you need to think about three-letter words. You have to focus on three-letter words. And this exercise, okay, train you to think about three-letter word and play it and memorize it. So what would you think you would like to do? You have double N, you have a G, have a H, and E. Where you want to put it, okay? Now, by the way, in the Scrabble tic-tac-toe, we have one rule, that is the letters, the words, can be read upside down, left to right, right to left, either way. This is sort of obvious and logical because when you play Scrabble, if you restrict the direction, that really limits the game. So when you put an E here, and suddenly I can put a T, that's EAT. But if you want to put somewhere else, let's say put down here, I can read EAT that way too, okay? So E may not be a good one to put down. Then you have to think about what consonant you put down has least chance for me to win a word, okay? All right, you say G, all right? Let's say you put a G here. Now, G-A, what word can go there, okay? First of all, I have 4 letters in my hand, okay? May or may not be all that is sort of fit into the GA. Now, let me just give you the all possible words with GA as a beginning, okay? And see how many words you can have. You can have GAB, gab, GAD, gad, GAE, GAG, GAL, GAM, GAN, GAP, GAR, GAS, GAT, GAY. That's a lot, isn't it? Besides, there's other words reverse. for example, read the other way, okay? Like N-A-G, G-A-N, both ways are words. So when you play tic-tac-toe, the first player always had advantage because the center spot is occupied. In a similar way, when you play the Scramble tic-tac-toe, the center part is a strategic spot, and if you happen to have a vowel in there, it even give you more strategic So right now, I'm going to show in this hand, I have 4 letters here, okay? Now, G-A, obviously, the simplest one most people hardly can tell is, I'll put a tag here, T-A-G is a word, okay? Or hag, G-H-A-G. Then I claim I won. So that's a very simple game, and very, very easy to play. You just have to have a piece of paper, draw a grid 3 by 3, and you can play it anywhere, okay? In your home, in a car, or a classroom, or in your yard, wherever you want. So that is the tic-tac-toe in the 3 by 3 level. Now, and good thing about this game is you can extend. You can extend from 3 by 3 to 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 6 by 6, 7 by 7, and so on. That's why this board that on this table and that the camera couldn't even cover all, it's actually allow you to do up to 9 by 9, okay? 9 by 9 is pretty hard already, but in principle, you can do all the way to 15 by 15, 16 by 16, okay? As far as the dictionary is concerned, that the longest word is more than 34 letters. Obviously, only a few words. Therefore, you wouldn't have to build a board that big to play those kind of games. And also, those few words probably you don't need to play games to remember. If you really want to remember one particular word, look it up and just memorize it. But when you talk about 3-letter word, 4-letter word, 5-letter word, 6, these are the majority of the words are in this spectrum, okay? From 3-letter, 960 some words, to 4-letter, it goes thousands, okay? And then 5-letter, many thousands, and those are the sort of a length of words that you really need to practice and learn, particularly for children, because words don't naturally come to you. Some words you don't use daily, okay? And through playing the game, you'll know. Okay, let's play a, say, 5 by 5. We jump from 3 to 3 to 5 by 5. Now, because it's 5 by 5, which is 25 grids, so basically we could deal the cards, right? 13 cards each, which add up to 26. So you would never really need to have more than that many, okay? I'm going to deal quicker. 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12, 13. Okay. Now, here it's your cards. Am I going to put it in a way like a poker hand? As you know, the scramble cards can be laid out this way, so you could easily see that in one hand. Okay? All right. And I am not going to order them. Just leave it here. You probably not able to see that on camera, but I will read it out to you. Okay? WHGOFTAGAHEL, wild. All right, maybe I should sort out for you so that you have 3H, okay? And you have 2G, okay? And you have 2A, FTAAEL, wild. Okay, that's your cards. And this is mine. I am going to sort it out, and I am not going to show you. And we start playing this 5 by 5. Okay, tic-tac-toe. Now, in 5 by 5, the center is no longer really necessarily that strategic, because putting a center doesn't mean you actually control the whole area. It depends on how the other letters are put. And this extension extends, okay, this strategy tremendously. Now, in this case, typically, as a strategy, you should think about the 5-letter words in your hand, as many as you can. Some people play Boggle. You remember the game Boggle? You throw 5 dice on the table and 5 letters come up, and you just spell as many words you can, right? Sort of taking that kind of thinking. In your hand, you got 13 cards. Try to think how many 5-letter words you have in combination. And then the second part is very, very interesting, and it's harder than a Boggle game. You need to picture this 5-letter words horizontally, diagonally, up and down, horizontal left and right, and strategically laid on this board, so that you will begin to place a card on the board. So you know what words you expect to make, but your opponent doesn't. This is where vocabulary comes in. This is where skill levels comes in. You compete, you learn from each other, okay? Let's say I did the same thing as last time, okay? I start. I do A here in the 5 by 5, okay? I'm gonna move this card a little bit away so this one is used as, okay? Now, for you, as next move, there's 24 spots to put down. When you have 13 cards to choose, obviously there's a lot of places you can put down, but which one you choose, really, it's up to you, and you have to work that out in your head, okay? This is a thinking game, it's a brain game. Now, sometimes you also have to know the distribution of the cards. Since we only dealt this in first hand, the distribution is probably not going to be that much matter, but it still does in a way, because some letters only have one card in the whole deck, and if you have it, your opponent wouldn't have it. So you need to remember these and keep it in your head, okay? Now here, with A here, you say, well, I got to make a 5-letter word, whether horizontal, read this way, or vertically that way. It's up to you, and you can play a card. Now, since you have 3H, I'm just assuming, okay? Assuming you're going to put down something that is strategic for you. This is A in the middle. A in the middle. Okay, let's say you put H here. Now, adjacent to each other. At this point, I probably have no way to guess what you're going to do, whether you're reading this way or that way, or you maybe just throw me off. I don't know. I have to continue to play, okay? All right. Now, you remember, you have a wild. A wild is powerful because when things are forming to 4 letters, that wild can come in very handy, because the wild can be any letter, okay? So, if that is the case, all right, okay. A in the middle, actually, I actually didn't necessarily do myself any favor. I put an R here. R actually, in this case, HR, RH, is not a combination. that easily make words, okay? If you look it up, HR adjacent is not very frequent. And I do that for a purpose to destroy this vertical part. But I am thinking about this diagonal. Allow me to extend. So now it's your turn, okay? All right, now you certainly can continue, and you will do an H here. Now, that, if I were playing for you, is strategically to say H, A-R, something, something, and you have a wild. That means if I put any letter in this diagonal 5-letter, you have a real good chance to complete the 5-letter word. So I have to really be careful not to fall into the traps here, okay? Unless I'm so sure I put a letter there, the 5th one, you cannot make it. But since you have a wild, that's almost impossible, because if I know the word, you probably also know the word. So I have to think about what else I would do, okay? Now, if this is the case, very, very good. I will do C here. Now, CH is a good combination, okay? But HC is not, so chances is that I'm setting up for 5-letter word that way, something H, okay? Now, it's your turn. Now, if you can guess, or you have a word that can take advantage of CH, you probably should do that, okay? Or, now you have okay. Now, you are really going to sort of throw me off here. Since you have so many H, okay, you're going to do another H here. And that sort of limits me. Whatever word I had perhaps is destroyed by your H, okay? Something H, something to CH, although they may be words, but I may not have it in my hand. So now my turn. Happen to be, I might be able to make a word, okay? But, by the way, I do not know you have the wild, okay? When you play the real game, you have the wild, but you don't tell me, I don't know. So I could take a chance, put a 4-letter there, and hope that you don't have the 5-letter word, and I make it, right? But if you do have a wild, then I would lose. So if this is the case, okay, I am going to take a chance. I put T here, okay? If I put a T there, now what that spot here, I happen to have a letter, okay, I can put in there is hitch, H-I-T-C-H. Now, but it's your turn, okay? You don't have an I, but you have a wild, okay? Now, if you play the wild, then you claim a winner, because you say this is I, H-I-T-C-H. Hitch. That would be a word, okay? But you may not have thought about this. You actually have two-letter A. And you say, well, you play A. Hatch. That's also a word too, okay? So in this hand, when I put a T, I almost already, okay, taking the risk that losing the game, because that spot, A, I, okay, O, okay, there's many words that you can make, therefore chances losing to you is very high. But think about this, if before I did not put a T and I continue with other letters, it would not be so easy for you to win this game, okay? So that's how the Scramble Tic-Tac-Toe is played and extended to 5x5, okay? So I hope this time we took a little time to explain and play this slowly, okay? Now, you may ask the question, if some people probably notice, if people play defensively, only destroy other people's words, that actually doesn't help yourself, but destroy others. Just like when you play tic-tac-toe, sometimes you play defensively, you put a circle here, put a cross. You put a cross, you put a circle, and just destroy each other. Nobody wins. After a while, that's no fun. So in the Scrabble tic-tac-toe, it could have that situation. But remember, in tic-tac-toe scramble, the cards have points, letters, okay? So you could, besides making words, but also count the points. Count the points to see how many letters, okay? Now, we could make the rule such that if you play defensively, okay, you didn't make any words, but we will say, okay, the points that you played will be negative points, be subtracted, unless you made a word. That is an incentive for you to make words rather than just play defensively, destroy people. Why? Because to destroy people, sometimes the letters with high points can easily destroy words. For example, like Z, like Q, like these high points letters. They don't have much words. Okay, you cannot make too many words of them. Therefore, when you put something down, you can easily, let's say you put a Z in a row somewhere, you literally destroy that row. But Z has 13 points, it's high points. In case, at the end, nobody made a word, by counting these vertically is yours, horizontal is mine, you have put down more points, and it will be recorded as negative points in your game. Okay? So, I'm talking about these in sort of a detail because it's interesting. It is my interest in sort of creating word games to help kids to learn. Okay? And in this creation process, there are a lot of little subtleties here and there, and you could pay attention to, so to make the game more interesting, more, okay, sort of a challenging to the brains, more strategic. Okay? So I hope this explanation at least makes you aware now the Scrabble Tic-Tac-Toe game is a very good set of game to help you to learn the skills, to learn vocabulary, and perhaps become national school Scrabble champion someday. Okay? Thank you for watching this game, and we'll see you next time. Good night.